Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Process and Automation Podcast with the Automation Guys. So another week has gone by, and more ChatGPT in the news. I think we can't really hide from it. So let's make the most out of it. So lots of questions came in through the community and on the topic ChatGPT and how we can make use of ChatGPT within the businesses. And businesses have lots of processes. So today we want to cover sort of the top 10 processes which are most suitable in any business to get started with ChatGPT. So it will be sort of very specific, and you probably can relate to lots of these areas, or probably hear from colleagues in other departments talking about those kind of things and how ChatGPT can help there. That's what we cover today. So we selected a couple of processes which can make use of ChatGPT. So of course, the majority of them are repetitive, labor-intensive, and time-consuming tasks. So this is what we want to get rid of in our businesses. All the tedious and mundane work we don't want to really get done by our human workers. No one wants to do that. So let's take the robot out of the humans. This is what we say a lot, isn't it, Arno?
Yeah, that's right.
And you do want to jump onto the first one?
Yeah, well, I can do.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's all to do with sort of the sort of use cases again of ChatGPT, and the I guess we're going to look at the top 10 business processes that can benefit from ChatGPT. And obviously the first one is customer service and support. So using ChatGPT, we can automate certain elements of our customer service and our support process, and sort of common service areas that can benefit from automation using ChatGPT is implementing things like a chatbot. Obviously, we can incorporate that into our website, and that would provide support for our customers 24/7. So that's quite a common use case. Things like automated email responses, for example. So a customer sends in an email to your help desk. So we can actually use ChatGPT to do automated responses there, maybe point them in the direction of FAQs. A lot of businesses have self-service portals. You can imagine logging into your account, and you are looking for specific types of information. So ChatGPT can actually help us to surface that information to customers using their online portals in their account section. So again, the art of the possible there is quite vast. So there's a lot of opportunities there to enrich these self-service portals with ChatGPT functionality, just to make that customer experience a lot nicer. Things like predictive analytics as well. ChatGPT is very good at analyzing data, and it's very good at anticipating the needs of your customers, for example. And that really allows you to provide a very sort of personalized support for your customers, personalized journeys, personalized recommendation. And kind of just back to sort of order tracking, for example, as well. You placed an order, when you integrate that with ChatGPT, it's easy for customers to actually, use ChatGPT to track their orders, ask for real-time updates on the status of their orders, for example. So again, very, very useful integration there to make that process a lot easier for your customers.
Our next big area where ChatGPT can make an impact is the sales and marketing area, all the sales and marketing processes. And if you can take work away from salespeople, they will be very happy about it. And if you can even provide them with more information, better information, sort of for driving opportunities through the sort of the pipelines, that will definitely make a big difference. So So when it comes to the sales and marketing process, the first one, which looks like very promising, is the sales pipeline automation, where we can use automation tools to move leads through the sales funnel. This can include automated follow-up emails. As we know in sales, just one email is not enough. One offer sending out one offer is not enough. So we always need to follow up. So usually a deal is made after 8 to 12 kind of touch points. But yeah, and then you can imagine if you do this all manually, or your salespeople have to do that manually. First of all, it's sort of wasted time, a little bit of wasted time. So it could be more efficient. So automation tools are big help here when it comes to driving opportunities and leads through the sales funnel. Marketing analytics, of course, it is very important to spend your time as a salesperson and on the leads, which are the most promising. And then with the marketing analytics, ChatGPT, or in that area of marketing analytics, ChatGPT can help gathering and analyzing that data. Nowadays in CRMs, there's plenty of data. So it involves setting up the analytics tools to track the website traffic, social media engagement, open email rates. Those kind of things can be analyzed by ChatGPT, and it can provide certain outcomes to improve marketing campaigns. Next one in that area is customer segmentation. Yeah, you can use ChatGPT and the knowledge intelligence of ChatGPT to automate the customer segmentation process. So by using data, again, it can segment your customers based on behaviors, visiting websites, downloading white papers, that kind of stuff, interests. Yeah, and that can be obviously automated, and it will allow businesses to tailor these marketing messages to the point, very customized, something you wouldn't do. Sometimes you send out email blasts, but with ChatGPT, you can be super personalized, and that will drive the effectiveness of your marketing campaigns. Yeah, and the same goes with content marketing. ChatGPT can help you here. So it can, first of all, produce content which is personalized, and at the same time it can support the content creation process within your company. It can also distribute that content automatically. It can suggest certain days and times for the social media campaign. So it can support the brainstorming. So one salesperson maybe, or marketing person in your company suddenly becomes a proper marketing team. So with ChatGPT, lots of effectiveness in marketing campaigns.
Yeah, and just on that, if we look at lead generation and qualification, businesses can benefit of bringing ChatGPT into these areas to obviously make those processes a lot more efficient, and really to drive revenue growth. If you have landing pages on your website, for example, to capture new leads, you can automate the creation of these pages. And obviously that will result in sort of more business leads being created. But critically, ChatGPT can test and optimize different versions of different landing pages to measure which ones would effectively generate the most leads for you. So I think that's quite a powerful feature. Another one is email marketing. And if you combine ChatGPT with RPA software, for example, your automated email campaigns can really be streamlined. Your lead nurturing process can be streamlined as well, and this can help you send more targeted messages to leads based on their interest, their behavior, and things like that. If we look at lead scoring, for example, if you automate your lead scoring, again, with the help of ChatGPT and RPA, you can prioritize your leads better based on the potential value. And this would improve your sales process a lot, and obviously help you to drive your conversion rates up. So, typical sort of way to achieve this is, you can assign a numeric value to leads based on their likelihood to convert. And then obviously sales teams can focus their efforts on sort of more promising leads to ensure that, sales resources are allocated where the most effective.
Yeah. So now it continues to other areas of the business where we might have lots of appointments going on, and as well with salespeople, for example, or with consultants, technical services, whatever business you're operating in. So probably there are lots of appointments with your customers involved. It could be as well a GP sort of practice where lots of appointments are the norm. So yeah, you could use the technology, the AI, ChatGPT to help do the online scheduling and for these appointments, and very specifically followed on that as well, the reminder notification, so can make sure when connected with other systems in the company that the reminder text messages or emails are sent out very specifically to their appointments, really making sure either customers are canceling appointments, so you're not having the issues of maybe the team is not busy enough, so and then of course missed appointments, they're definitely not really good for the business, and very often maybe the rescheduling takes time again as well. I don't know, I think we're moving on to HR processes.
Yeah, so obviously in HR, lots of opportunities there. Again, if you combine ChatGPT and RPA automation, and you can allow businesses to focus more on strategic HR initiatives rather than sort of tactical things that you have to do in order to keep the HR department ticking. And areas of this is kind of employee development that we want to focus on and better that. We want to address organizational culture, make that better, and ultimately we want to get to a point where we have a more engaged and a productive workforce. So some of the examples are within site recruitment and hiring. So of course you can use ChatGPT combined with RPA to deal with applicant tracking. You can even screen resumes. You can schedule interviews. You can even conduct some initial interviews automatically. Some questions you can ask. You can use scoring on that basis. So you can teach the model the sort of scoring that you wish candidates to achieve in order to move them to the next stage. You can look at things like candidate sourcing by analyzing and sort of matching job descriptions with various job boards and social media platforms. Again, if you look at existing employees, if we look at performance management rather, we can streamline the evaluation process, goal setting of employees, the sort of feedback that they provide, continuous improvement, and ultimately, this leads to better employee retention. Other areas is obviously benefits administration. So we can kind of simplify employee queries on the sort of benefits they have, insurances, reimbursements, holiday allocation. So the kind of typical things that takes quite a long time to do via email, ChatGPT, those are the types of information that you can surface the employee very quickly. And I guess the overarching one is sort of just general employee engagement. So things like surveys, feedback, and this will help you to identify, improvement areas in the business, and really from a sort of overall perspective, improve employee satisfaction and retention. And again, these are sort of just small examples within inside HR, but I think what you want to achieve is more your strategic goals. And in order to do so, you want to sort of automate some of these more tactical things. So your HR staff can be freed up and look more holistically across HR.
Mm. Yeah, good segue into the next topic. Freeing up staff of sort of tasks is it's a very popular one, or a very prominent one, is within the IT support, the IT help desk. Pretty much every company of a certain size has an IT help desk. So yeah, we can support the help desk team a lot with ChatGPT. For example, when it comes to ticket management, automating the ticket creation, and with intelligence, we can automatically assign the tickets to the right team. So that's not necessarily sort of the real power of ChatGPT there, but by combining RPA and ChatGPT, we can go a little bit further, which can then ultimately improve response times and resolution rates. And of course, your customers, your employees who require these the support of the help desk will be more satisfied. The next big area is the knowledge base, automating the creation and maintaining a knowledge base based on issues raised within the company. So that will really help everyone going forward. Everyone can then help access that helpful information, and therefore reduces the need for the IT personnel. So generally they are fully occupied in most companies. So if we can reduce that with a knowledge base which is maintained by ChatGPT, that will be useful. And in combining that with chatbots, combining the ticket creation and maybe the knowledge base, we can go even further, because then you can have a real conversation with ChatGPT powered chatbots, and if you connect that as well with RPA, you can very much so solve problems potentially straight away. You get far more out of the help desk, because you're really communicating with ChatGPT here, instead of just using the typical sort of frequent FAQ bots. That kind of stuff is very generic.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're a bit outside of that scope, I do not understand your question. That pops up all the time. So if combining those things with ChatGPT will make a huge difference.
Yeah, and the next one really is looking at data analysis and reporting. So obviously you would need to plug ChatGPT into your business data, but there's various sort of scenarios that you can leverage this technology, specifically with RPA as well, to automate your data analysis and sort of some of your reporting processes. And some of the examples are automated collection and extraction of data. This is where you go out and you go to the various data sources. And obviously this would save a lot of time, because, it's not prone to errors. You can do data cleaning, pre-processing of data. And again, this ensures a high degree of accuracy and consistency. You can do some data analysis and modeling, where you can identify some patterns and insights inside the data. You can do something with it, create alerts, for example, things like automated report generation and distribution of reports. So this sort of thing will save you a lot of time, and it will just ensure that there's consistency in your business for publishing these reports, and they are accurate. And then sort of just looking at reporting, data visualization is another one. The way we present data, we want to make it, easily digestible. We want to put it in an understandable format. So again, if you use ChatGPT to source that information, perhaps RPA to consistently create nice visualizations, and then push that out to your business stakeholders. Again, very powerful automation capabilities there.
So yeah, that brings me to social media management. We covered marketing earlier, so that goes nicely into that area as well. So nowadays every company runs their social media channels, and of course we can use ChatGPT, and now was the version of ChatGPT 4. Yeah, we can do even more when it comes to social media automation. So you probably played around with that already, but the results are really, really amazing. Creating great social media content, that definitely saves a lot of time for companies nowadays. Posting like 4 or 5 posts a day, I think that's very important for getting traction on social media. So that's one really cool thing when it comes to content creation. If you give it the right sort of prompts and or use the right prompts, you get plenty of good results when it comes to social media. But very often, what we don't think of when it comes to social media is the customer inquiries. Typically, people maybe reach you via your email or your help desk, but social media now opens another channel to communicate with you. So plenty of customer inquiries can come in there, similar like a chat. Basically, it's of a chat nature. So you can use the power of ChatGPT to support there as well. We talked about social media calendars earlier when we dived into the marketing area. So ChatGPT can suggest a really good posting schedule for your industry, for your target market. So that's so that will help your social media team a lot doing the listings or in social media in the right way. The performance tracking of your social media activities is very important. Similar like other data you collect in your business, how much business and how much customer satisfaction we will have in our social media channels. It's super important. So in ChatGPT, it can help you collecting that data and perform sort of some analysis on it to get some recommendations.
Yeah, and the next one I want to touch on is really order tracking and fulfillment, and this is specifically for e-commerce businesses. But if you're out there in e-commerce business and you bring ChatGPT, integrate that into your systems, it does improve all of the automated processes and offer real-time insights and perhaps recommendations for your procurement department. Even things like inventory management and demand forecasting. So that, again, this just sort of help you enhance your supply chain. And some of the examples here is sort of automated order processing, payment verification, order fulfillment, verifying shipping details. If we look at order tracking, for example, and status updates, you can provide these real-time updates to customers on the actual orders. And this ultimately would result in reduction of support inquiries and ultimately lead to improved customer satisfaction. I touched briefly earlier just on inventory management, but again, this can all be integrated. You can even create sort of processes that deals with reordering of stock. You can deal with or avoid overselling. You can deal with product availability, for example. Also, return and refund management. So there's a great deal of automation that you can introduce there to reduce manual effort in this area. And again, that just provides a seamless experience for your customers. And then customer notifications, where you want to create automated notifications to your customers to tell them that their order has been shipped, for example. You want to keep them updated on the delivery times, and generally just keep them informed throughout the whole fulfillment process. So again, this is not just a specific to ChatGPT, but we feel like bringing this technology in with other automation technologies like RPA, for example, workflow tools. It is just making that offering or that technical capabilities that's at your disposal just making that a lot better, just to streamline these processes, so they're the best they can be for your business.
All right. Yeah. So that brings us to the top 10 item: education and training services. So yeah, with ChatGPT, we can again personalize the learning experience for each student. That's really a very significant advantage, and understanding the learner data, and the behavior. Is very important, and will customize the recommendations. How to progress on these learning journeys. So by really combining that properly, it will improve sort of the learning outcomes, and again minimizing workload of staff, in this case specifically the instructors and the administrators. So let's look specifically into the course registration enrollment area. Was ChatGPT, we can enroll students in a course and in the programs, and combined with other automations, we can include sort of payment verifications and very specifically that course scheduling, which is usually very, very helpful if you have high volume. Another interesting area is the curriculum management. So when you provide sort of material for learners, content, it is very important. It's nicely structured, and you produce good content, new content consistently. So with automations, there we can really get the content creation going, and do the right updates, the right revisions, and produce constantly sort of new courses for our learners. So if you have a sort of university or school, that's probably very important for you. And the next one is assessment and grading. It is easy to automate the assessment and grading using ChatGPT and combining that with RPA. Further down, you could also combine that with online testing, and take some questions from that, and that all flows into that mechanism for grading. So nothing manual anymore. So if you have lots of students, you can imagine every minute you save, that will be huge. Student feedback and support, similar like what we had was customer service, collecting that feedback in regular intervals, and doing that in a human way instead of just filling out stupid forms. For example, you can have a chatbot here, and you have a good conversation and really collect meaningful feedback. That's very important. The next one is certification and credentials. So with automation combined with ChatGPT and RPA, you can automate that issuing of certifications, and you can verify the completion of courses. So lots of work can be saved here, combining these technologies. So it's, as Arno mentioned earlier, it's not just the ChatGPT thing can do it. It is the right combination of technologies here to get that outcome you might desire. Arno,
Very interesting topic, and obviously, I think that the influence of these AI tools like ChatGPT on existing RPA technologies is going to be immense. I think that it's just the beginning of it. I think ChatGPT sort of really unlocked the application of AI for a lot of people, and I think that it's going to significantly transform our approach towards technology, the way we work. And these sort of 10 common business processes is sort of just a quick example of how you can bring ChatGPT into your organization. And what we want to achieve here is sort of reduce the input and the human workload involved in performing sort of mundane tasks that's boring, and really, give people interesting things to do, rather than sort of just rekeying data into 3 different systems, or dealing with a customer query that could be resolved by sending the customer FAQ link. So again, it's the combination of various technologies. ChatGPT on its own is not a silver bullet. I think you have to look at a more holistic approach when you bring this into your business. I think you need to obviously look at governance as well. That's quite a big topic as well. Something that we'll probably look at in the future. Because obviously when you bring data into ChatGPT, you make it available to the model. So there are some privacy sort of discussion as well that's currently being held. So again, this is something that is a technology that's out there, but the application of it is something that will still develop as time progresses. But notwithstanding, a very, very interesting time. Very excited to use it as well as part of the automation solutions we deliver. And of course, if we are out there and we've got some exciting stories to share to members of our community, we'll do so. So please listen to our podcast, tune in. We have been talking a lot recently about ChatGPT, but it's because a lot of people are talking about it. So we think it's quite topical. So yeah, we'll keep you all posted on all of the interesting things we see out there. And again, keep the questions coming. We look forward to receiving those and to shape future episodes to talk about all of the things that matter out there for people that wants to get involved with automation or learn a lot about automation, a lot more about automation.
So we will be back with another episode of the Process and Automation podcast very soon. And until then, let's automate it. Unfortunately, that's it again with this episode of the Process and Automation podcast. If you liked this episode, please give us a 5-star rating and don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss any upcoming episode. We hope you will tune in next time, and until then, let's automate it.